Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it launched ballistic missiles into eastern Syria against ISIS forces. ISIS blames the terror group for a recent attack on a military parade. This was Iran's second ballistic missile on Syria in over a year. One of the missiles shown on state television carried the slogans "Death to America, Death to Israel, Death to Saud." Some Iranian missiles can travel far enough to strike targets in Israel. And for more on this story, let's go back to Pat.
Well, CBN News Middle East correspondent Chris Mitchell is here with us now from Jerusalem. Chris, good to see you.
Great to be with you, Pat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the deal about this Iranian threat with these missiles? Are they really accurate?
Very accurate, Pat. In long range, they have their Serhab 3 is about 1,200 miles. They have a cruise missile that can go 1,500 miles, and they are accurate. As Benjamin Netanyahu said the other day, sometimes they can be within 10 meters of a target, so it represents a serious threat. You know, it's not only Iran, but also in Lebanon, and he released intelligence just the other day that there are factories inside Beirut itself, and I think we have footage of that, where actually they are taking conventional missiles, transforming them into precision-guided missiles. And, you know, you and I were up on the Second Lebanon War in 2006. At the time, they had 14,000 missiles. Now they have 150,000 missiles.
Come on, Chris. Yeah. 150,000 missiles?
Exactly. And that represents, obviously, a severe threat. Many of them can hit anywhere in Israel.
What is Israel going to do with that kind of a threat? I mean, should there be a preemptive strike?
They have talked about it over the years. They've said if they're not going to fight that war like they did the last war, they're going to go in. Some people have said, Israeli generals have said that they're going to make, bomb Lebanon back into the Stone Age because of the threat that it poses. But the other threat, Pat, is certainly the Iranian nuclear deal. I talked to Uzi Rubin, who's Israel's top expert, missile expert. He said it was gross negligence for the Obama administration to leave ballistic missiles out of the Iranian nuclear deal because they represent such a powerful weapon. And back earlier this year, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released intelligence captured by the Mossad inside Tehran, where in 2005, Iran was developing technology to miniaturize a nuclear device, put it on a ballistic missile, and that represents a threat not only to Israel, but to the United States as well.
Was the Obama administration obtuse or deliberately trying to cover up this Iranian threat?
Well, Uzi Rubin was telling me, especially on the ballistic missiles, they knew that if they tried to include missiles into the deal, they wouldn't have a deal. So they were willing to take a bad deal rather than no deal at all, and that's what he was telling me. And so this is, something that really is for Israel. Israeli leaders, when you talk to them, Pat, they say Israel has three main enemies: Iran, Iran, and Iran.
Well, the Iranian people are kind of friendly. They're friendly to America. Who are these mullahs? I mean, how serious are they? They really are fanatic.
They are fanatics, and right now there seems to be this hint, this glimmer of hope that could be regime change. The Trump administration, I think, is taking a page out of the playbook of the Reagan administration. You know, he said the Soviet Union was running against the tide of history because it denies freedom. Yeah. And so is Iran. Rudy Giuliani said just a few days ago that it's just a question of when there'll be a regime change. And I think that's the thing that many people are hoping for. The Trump administration also is taking a page by placing maximum economic pressure on Iran, just like Reagan did against the former Soviet Union.
You know, I got to know the former Israeli ambassador to Iran, and he said the college students and the workers have within their authority to overturn those mullahs. Do you think this? Are we going to help anybody, you think? Or is Israel having somebody to assist the forces of overthrow?
I think Israel is doing that. I also think the United States is doing that. I think that's exactly what they're doing. And Pat, I met some Iranian believers coming out of Iran, and they just despise the kind of oppression and lack of freedom that they have inside Iran. So I think there's a wellspring of hope that finally the regime could be overthrown. It's been almost 40 years since the mullahs taken over in 1979, and now 40 years later, perhaps there'll be a regime change.
Right now, it's an existential threat against Israel. Israel faded with that many missiles. I mean, they can blow that country to pieces if they try.
If they try, exactly, yeah. So that's why Benjamin Netanyahu keeps saying they will not allow Iran to get a nuclear weapons, because that does represent that.
Well, you remember when we were over there, the missiles couldn't hit anything. I mean, they kept shooting them, but fortunately, they didn't have good guidance systems. Now they've got...
Exactly. As I was saying, Uzi Rubin was telling me 150,000 rockets. Most of them are Katyusha rockets, the same ones that I saw hit a hillside right behind you when you were making a live shot with Fox News. But now they have about 1,000 to 2,000 rockets that can go 10 meters within any target. So when you think of civilian population centers, military targets, when you can hit within 30 feet of a target, that makes a big difference.
Chris, keep it up, buddy. God bless you, and thank you for the work you're doing. And we've got to cover that, and not only cover it, but really pray for those who love Israel.
Exactly.
Amen.
Well, Pat, congratulations on 57 years.
It's been wonderful.
And over in Jerusalem, we're proud to be part of the CBN family and excited to be part of the new CBN News Channel.
Isn't that exciting?
It's very
tremendous.
exciting.
Well, God bless you, man.